Hello everybody. I have been working on this project for a while now, and I just want to show a video of kind of what all's been done to it so far. I'd like to get some feedback from you guys and tell me what you think. A lot of people tell me I'm crazy for doing this, that I'm way in over my head, but I don't really think so. In any case, I am building a 78 F150 Super Cab 4-wheel drive. Now, originally, these trucks came with a straight 6 or a small block in them. Maybe a 351. However, let's just say I'm a fan of, Tim the Toolman Taylor, the bigger the motor, In any case, so I've put a lift on it. I've got a set of 36-inch Super Swamper eye rocks that are going to go on it. I'm just holding off on putting that money in it until, at least swapping the tires, until it gets closer to being road ready. So anyway, I'll give you a walk around and I'll show you what all I'm working with here. The lift kit that's on it is a Rough Country 4-inch, brand new, put it on. In the back it came with some lift blocks, U-bolts, and shocks. On the front it came with springs, U-bolts, and shocks, and a steering block. The steering block I didn't have too much issue with. I sprayed mine down with some PB Blaster and let it soak overnight, and then I came back and was actually able to break it free pretty easily, and I took the old nuts that were on it and then screwed them down on top of one another to remove the old studs to put the longer studs in, so that I could tighten up the new steering block on the steering knuckle. So anyway, now I'll show you the truck. This is a overview of the whole truck here. You can kind of see it. It's not short by any means. The inside is actually a disaster right now. The seats are in really good shape. I just haven't done anything with it because, well, it's still an ongoing project, but I've got spare parts to say the least. I bought the truck as a project truck in the first place, so, but we've been doing some work on it. Now, when I bought this truck, it had been sitting in a barn for about 8 years, and had never had anything really done to it. Excuse me while I light a cigarette real quick here. It's sat in the barn for 8 years, and I'd always wanted a 78, 79 Ford. I've been infatuated with these trucks since I was about 12, 13 years old. I'm now 26, so it took me 13 years to find the truck of my dreams. That's my other Ford, by the way. I'm a Ford fanatic. Here's the camper box, which usually is rusted out and shot or missing completely, and this one's actually in really good shape. As you can see, there's the block and the U-bolts and the new shocks on it. The gas tanks are currently out of the truck. I've got to wash them before I put them in. There's gas tanks. This door I'm using as some spare sheet metal for whatever I may come across that I need. This truck came with the dual tanks on the side. And I do have the other fill hole in door for that there. So this is the driver's side. Not bad for a barn find, really. Yeah, there's another water pump. This is my other truck, which, by the way, this truck has a 351 Cleveland in it, C6, Right now it's got a blown head gasket in it, and I need to fix that up. So now the part where everybody says I'm crazy. Obviously the truck's in some disrepair. One of my windows is missing in the sliding glass. The window's got a crack in it. But I mean, overall I don't think it's too bad. So when I say people say that I'm nuts for doing this, this is why. I went looking high and low for the motor that I wanted to put in this truck. The guy that had this truck that I bought it from, he had a 460 in it, with the Granny 4-speed and the 4-wheel drive, and he blew the motor up in it. I know, right? How the hell do you blow up a 460? Well, I found 3 more 460s. Was going to build them up, put them together, you know, just get the truck up and going. And then I found a guy in my town that is another Ford fanatic. And inside of one of his barns, he's got 3 barns that are slammed full of Ford truck parts. But inside one of his barns, he had what I consider one of the best motors Ford ever made. And that's a 429 Cobra Jet. Right now, it does not run. I wish it did. I need a few things before I actually fire it up and make it run. Those look like headers. They're really not. They're more mock-up stuff. I've got to order a set of shorty headers because this big block in here takes up a lot of room. It's got a comp mother thumper cam in it. The motor's been bored 30 over. It's got forged internals. So I mean, it's equipped to handle that cam. The carburetor's actually kind of small for it. I want to put a little bit bigger carburetor on there. It's actually got a 750 Holley on there, and I either want to put a 750 true double pumper on it, or I want to put another Holley 800, or I want to put a Holley 800 on it, or 850. Yeah, 850, I think. Anyway, and so that's kind of where it sits right now. The brakes aren't hooked up on it, and you know, I mean, it's not running, it's not driving, but realistically, I'm really not far from doing a test fire on it. One of the big issues that I am having is finding the bracketry for this 429 Cobra Jet. I'm having one issue with the power steering pump. The power steering pump that's on it, which I don't know if you guys will be able to see it or not, but yeah, you will. Right here and right here is where the 460 was sitting in it, and it was rubbing grooves onto the steering sector. Now, how in the hell it ran in the first place, I have no idea, but it did. So anyway, that's where I'm kind of at with that. So I need a power steering pump bracket that'll hold my power steering pump, and I also need an alternator bracket. Now, with this 429 being in here and being where it's supposed to be, because it's so much bigger than like a 351 or something, I can't put the alternator, you know, there's 2 different style brackets for the alternator. There's a low mounting bracket and an upper mounting bracket, and I need an upper mounting bracket so I can put the alternator on it. And I'll show you some of the issues I'm having there. I kind of fabbed this one up just for a test fit. I have no intention of using it, but you can see how low that alternator would sit on there. And one of my issues is that I'm actually touching the frame with the alternator, where it won't clear, so I can tighten the bolts up on where I can tighten the belt up properly on it. In any case, I thought I hit stop. In any case, this is my project. It originally came with air conditioning. Air conditioning is not going back on it. I am going for horsepower and towing efficiency. I have a horse trailer and a couple of horses that I have to pull with it. And I know a lot of you are like, dude, just go buy a diesel. It'd be so much easier and so much fucking cheaper. Well, yeah, that would be nice. And that would be a great thing if I had the money for it. But I don't, so I can't. But in any case, right now this truck is sitting on 33s. Like I said, I've got 36s to put on it. Another question for you guys out there on YouTube world is, can I put 38s on it? It does not have a body lift. I saw one guy on there, Mr. Dusty Miller, which, by the way, I love his truck. It is an absolute gorgeous truck, and eventually I would hope to get my truck up to his standard. Could 38s fit on it without a body lift? Just kind of food for thought, just kind of wondering about that. But yeah, I'm sure you guys saw this truck. I kind of briefly touched up on it. This is a 77. It's got a C6 in it with a 351 Cleveland. Like I said, it's got a blown head gasket on it right now. See if I can open this up one-handed. Hold on. 351 Cleveland. This truck's been sitting for a couple of months. I kind of got something building a little nest on the intake. Yeah, right there. But that's a Holly 500 two-barrel on it. This truck's nothing really fancy. It's just kind of a cool cruising hot rod, really. This truck has AC on it. Right now it's dead. I think there's a leak on the condenser. So we'll have to see there. But this is the inside of it. I don't think it's too bad for all original interior. The interior's never been replaced in it. It's just a fun little old farm truck to ride around in. But yeah, I've got the 77, then I've got my 78 project that I'm working on, and then I've got my 04 Ford. Another question to the younger guys or to the older guys that might have a Ford, a truck my year. I've got a 04 f150. It's got the 4.6 in it, automatic 4-wheel drive. I'm actually been thinking about putting a lift kit on it. Right now it's got 31s on it, and I don't know if I want to put a lift kit on it or just go ahead and put 33s on it and run it with 33s and call it good. It's my wife's truck. Right now we're using it to haul the horses with, so obviously I can't go too crazy with it, but it's a nice little grocery getter. It'll get you from point A to point B. And anyway, I'm gonna quit rambling here and put this up on YouTube. You guys let me know what you think about my project, and let me know if you guys have any suggestions. I'm open to any and all suggestions on it, and just let me know. We'll talk to you later. Bye.